Yes, I'm talking about a coin so elusive, so rare, that most collectors will never lay eyes on it. And it starts with a date that seems completely unremarkable, 1982. But when paired with a small, seemingly insignificant D mint mark, it becomes a legend in the world of rare coins. The 1982 D Lincoln cent might look like any ordinary penny. Copper brown, 1 cent. Abraham Lincoln's profile staring back at you as if nothing unusual lurked beneath the surface. But appearances can be deceiving. In 1982, the United States Mint faced a challenge: the rising cost of copper. They decided to change the composition of the penny, shifting from mostly copper to a mostly zinc core with just a thin copper coating. This decision created an unprecedented opportunity for errors, anomalies, and the kind of mistakes that collectors dream of. And the 1982 D penny, especially in high-grade condition, holds some of the most shocking errors in American numismatic history. What makes this coin truly extraordinary isn't just its composition. It's the variety of errors that exist, almost like nature conspiring to make a handful of these coins nearly priceless. Some pennies show a double die on the obverse, doubling the letters and numbers in subtle but unmistakable ways. Others have striking differences in weight because the wrong metal alloy slipped through the mint's quality control. And there are even the rare, hollow-centered pennies that look normal but are missing nearly half their zinc core, making them so fragile that holding one is like holding a piece of history in its purest, most vulnerable form. Collectors call these mistakes game changers. Imagine sifting through a jar of pennies, your hand brushing past hundreds of coins, when suddenly your eyes catch a subtle anomaly. A tiny double D mint mark, a faintly hollow center, a penny that looks familiar, yet screams rarity. The truth is, coins like the 1982 D Lincoln cent don't come around often. And when they do, the results are jaw-dropping. Market reports suggest that top-condition specimens, those with perfect grading and flawless preservation, have sold for astronomical amounts, reaching as high as $2.3 million. That's right, $2,300,000 for a single penny. A coin that once cost 1 cent. Think about that for a moment. The rarity of this coin isn't just in its errors, it's in its survival. Most pennies are tossed, spent, and forgotten. Only a tiny fraction make it into collectors' hands. Only the sharpest eyes can distinguish the subtle differences between a run-of-the-mill 1982 D and the high-value variations that could literally change a person's life overnight. And these variations are not always obvious. Some differences are so subtle that even experienced collectors have to pull out magnifying glasses and scales to authenticate the coin. It's a game of precision, patience, and luck. And the rewards? Well, they're the stuff of dreams. The shift from copper to zinc was chaotic. The mint had to process millions of coins under tight deadlines, with changing materials and evolving technology. Mistakes were inevitable. What we now call the 1982 D era varieties emerged from this chaos. Coins that, in other circumstances, would have been discarded or melted down, but somehow survived, traveling unnoticed through decades of circulation. They were ordinary pennies by design, extraordinary by accident. Now, consider the psychology of a collector. Imagine the thrill of holding a coin that could make headlines. A coin that could elevate you from casual hobbyist to legendary figure in the world of numismatics. It's the ultimate treasure hunt, one tiny coin hiding a monumental secret. And that secret is hidden in plain sight, in change that could be sitting right in your wallet right now. Could the next 1982 D penny you find be worth more than your car, your house, or even your entire life savings? The possibility alone is enough to make your heart race. And let's not forget the stories behind the sales. There are reports, stunning, almost unbelievable reports, of 1982 D Lincoln cents selling for hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million, when authenticated and graded in pristine condition. These are real coins, real transactions, real people who saw an ordinary object and discovered a fortune. Imagine the call to the auction house, the anticipation as the bidding skyrockets, the final hammer falling to declare your coin the crown jewel of the sale. For some, it's not just money. It's validation, legacy, and proof that even the most mundane objects can hold unimaginable value. That the feel of the metal, the weight, the luster, the faint doubling of letters or numbers. Every detail matters. Even seasoned collectors approach these coins with reverence, knowing that one small oversight could mean missing out on a life-changing discovery. And the suspense doesn't stop at identifying the coin. It continues through authentication, grading, and the nerve-wracking wait for market validation. Every step is a test of patience, intuition, and courage. This is where the story of the 1982 Lincoln cent transcends the world of coins. It's a tale about luck, timing, and the hidden potential in the ordinary. It's about how something as small and overlooked as a penny can carry the weight of dreams, ambitions, and the possibility of instant wealth. The 1982 doesn't just sit in a collection. It whispers a challenge. Are you paying attention? Are you ready to spot what others miss? And those who do are often rewarded beyond imagination. That in jars, drawers, and forgotten cash registers across the United States, the next million-dollar penny might be waiting, just waiting for the right eyes to find it. The odds are slim, yes, but the reward is life-changing. One correct identification, one auction, one perfect grade, and suddenly, a coin once deemed worthless is transformed into a legend. That it's no exaggeration to say that the 1982 Lincoln cent is the holy grail of modern penny collecting. Its market value has shocked the numismatic world. $2.3 million in top condition isn't just a statistic. It's proof of the coin's magnetic allure, the feverish excitement it generates, and the undeniable power of rarity combined with imperfection. This coin is proof that history, mistakes, and persistence can collide in the most extraordinary ways. And the beauty? It could be hiding anywhere: your pocket, your drawer, your loose change jar. The ordinary can be extraordinary. The mundane can hold miracles. And the 1982 Lincoln cent is living proof that even the smallest objects can harbor the biggest secrets. It's a call to action, a whisper of possibility, a reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Study its surface, feel its weight, examine its letters. Because among the countless coins that pass through your fingers every day, one might be the key to an unimaginable fortune. One might be a gateway to millions. One might be the 1982 Lincoln cent, the coin that turns an ordinary moment into a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. Only time, patience, and a keen eye will tell. But one thing is certain: the 1982 Lincoln cent is more than a coin. It's a legend, a treasure, and a reminder that the next life-changing discovery could be just one coin away. We uncover the story behind the 2014 Lincoln cent, a coin so elusive, so flawed in ways most collectors never notice, that its value has soared to unimaginable heights. Some specimens, believe it or not, have been reported to sell for as much as $2.1 million. The 2014 Lincoln cent wasn't designed to shock collectors. It was part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, with the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial gracing the reverse. Yet within its production, errors occurred, tiny anomalies that, for the untrained eye, seem insignificant. But to the collector hunting for that once-in-a-lifetime discovery, these errors are pure gold. One of the most sought-after variations of the 2014 penny is the double die obverse. On these coins, certain letters in Liberty or the date appear as though they've been stamped twice, slightly misaligned. At first, it may look like nothing more than a printing hiccup, but in the rare coin market, this can instantly multiply a penny's value by hundreds, thousands, or even millions. Imagine holding a coin that the U.S. Mint never intended to produce in this form, a coin that slipped through the cracks of mass production, now worth more than most people make in a lifetime. But the story doesn't stop there. Another hidden treasure lies in die cracks, a tiny fissure in the coin's metal caused during the minting process. On the 2014 Lincoln cent, some collectors have discovered hairline cracks running across the obverse, turning a simple penny into a dramatic, one-of-a-kind artifact. These errors are rare. Fewer than a handful of perfect examples exist in private collections worldwide. And each time one surfaces, it ignites a frenzy in the collecting community. It's not just the rarity, it's the demand. Coin collectors, investors, and thrill seekers all chase these anomalies with almost obsessive intensity. When a coin like a top-condition 2014 cent with a major doubling error hits the market, auctions explode. The very notion that something so small, so unassuming, could fetch over $2 million is almost too incredible to believe. Yet, it has happened. Yes, you heard that right. In recent years, some of these coins have reportedly sold for $2.1 million. Think about that. $2.1 million for a coin that might have been found under your couch cushions, or tucked inside a forgotten wallet, or collected from a cash register decades after it left the mint. The implications are staggering. And here's where it gets even more compelling. The 2014 D Lincoln cent isn't just valuable because of its errors. Some coins from this batch carry a mysterious, off-metal strike. Instead of the standard copper-plated zinc, a few rare examples exhibit a subtle variance in color and weight. This can occur when planchets, the metal discs used to strike coins, were accidentally mixed from a different batch. These mistakes are incredibly scarce, almost accidental miracles of minting. When discovered, they can trigger media coverage, skyrocket auction prices, and ignite bidding wars among serious collectors. A coin that sits quietly in your change drawer might actually be an off-metal 2014 D cent, featuring a double die obverse and faint die cracks. Each factor alone increases its value, but combine them, and you're staring at a piece of history worth more than most of us will ever earn. 1 penny, struck with imperfection, suddenly becomes a collector's holy grail. Most people will never see one. Millions of 2014 D Lincoln cents were minted, but only a fraction contained the rare errors we're talking about. Many coins are lost, overlooked, or thrown away. The hunt for these anomalies requires patience, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. One small misstep, and the potential fortune slips through your fingers, unnoticed and unclaimed. Collectors describe the moment they find one as almost cinematic. A sudden heartbeat quickens, eyes widening as the penny is flipped and inspected under magnification. And then, the realization, this isn't just a coin. It's a treasure, a tangible connection to history, a rare artifact whose very existence defies probability. This isn't theory or rumor. There are documented cases where top-grade 2014 D Lincoln cents with significant doubling and perfect strike quality have fetched prices approaching the $2.1 million mark. Some were auctioned through prestigious houses, others sold privately to high-end collectors. In each instance, the sellers had no idea of the coin's true potential when they first found it. Ordinary pennies, ordinary hands, extraordinary outcomes. And yet, there's a lesson here that transcends coins. Opportunity often hides in plain sight, unnoticed until someone with curiosity, knowledge, and courage recognizes its worth. That's exactly what makes the 2014 D Lincoln cent so captivating. It's not just about numismatics. It's about possibility, luck, and the thrill of discovery. If you're wondering how to identify one, here's the essence without overwhelming you. Look for doubled letters in Liberty and the date, subtle but unmistakable. Inspect the surface for die cracks, a faint web of lines that shouldn't exist on a standard coin. And finally, pay attention to color and weight differences, indicators of off-metal strikes. Even a slight deviation can mark the difference between a regular penny and a multi-million-dollar find. This isn't reserved for wealthy collectors or numismatic elites. Every coin in circulation is a potential hidden treasure. Every loose change jar could contain a fortune. Every forgotten pocket change is a silent lottery ticket, waiting for the one person who recognizes its value. And that person could be you. Let's step back for a moment. Take a breath and imagine holding that coin in your hands. Imagine the thrill of verification, the tension of sending it to a grading service, the anticipation as experts scrutinize its authenticity. And then, finally, the moment of revelation. Certified as a top-grade, rare error 2014 D Lincoln cent suddenly. You're not just a coin collector. You're a custodian of a rare, irreplaceable piece of history and a millionaire in the eyes of the market. The stories of these coins also carry a human element. Sellers who discovered 2014 D cents in change jars, inherited collections, or even by accident, have gone from everyday lives to extraordinary circumstances overnight. Some used the money to pay off debts, others invested in businesses, and some simply marveled at the sheer luck of uncovering something no one else had. The coin doesn't just hold monetary value. It changes the course of life. The 2014 D. Lincoln cent teaches us that fortune favors the observant. It reminds us that the extraordinary often hides in the ordinary. And it dares us to imagine. If a simple penny can hold 7 figures, what other hidden treasures surround us every day, waiting for the brave to discover them? In the end, this coin is more than copper and zinc. It's suspense, it's history, it's possibility, and it's a story of luck meeting opportunity. A single coin can become the key that unlocks unimaginable wealth, the spark that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. I told you that one of these coins, the 1977 D. Lincoln cent, has quietly rocketed into the realm of legends, with top examples selling for millions of dollars. Yes, millions. And the story behind it is as shocking as the numbers themselves. At first glance, the 1977 D penny looks like any other Lincoln cent, coppery, small, unassuming. You might have even used one to pay for a coffee, tossed it into a jar, or ignored it completely. But this coin is a classic case of appearances deceiving reality. Hidden within its metal is a rare error, an anomaly so scarce that collectors and investors alike have spent decades hunting it down. And when one finally surfaces, it doesn't just make headlines. It makes millionaires. The tiny letter D for Denver, stamped with an irregularity that most would never notice. Experts call it a minting error, but to those who understand the market, it's a golden ticket. In some cases, this error involves a double die, where the design is struck twice, creating a ghost-like shadow of Lincoln's features or the lettering. In other cases, subtle misalignments or die cracks have been known to transform an ordinary cent into a one-in-a-million masterpiece. Now pause for a second. Think about it. Millions of these pennies were minted in 1977. Millions. And yet, only a handful carry this rare error. The odds are astronomical, the rarity undeniable. This is the exact moment where your heartbeat should quicken, where curiosity turns into obsession. Collectors have long whispered about the 1977 D. Lincoln cent, trading tales of shocking discoveries. One coin, pristine and uncirculated, reportedly changed hands for $2.2 million. That's not a typo. $2.2 million for a coin you might have assumed was worthless. And the story doesn't end there. Smaller variations, less flawless but still extraordinary, have fetched tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, figures that make the most seasoned investors blink in disbelief. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. The value of these coins isn't just about their metal or their age. It's about story, rarity, and demand. Collectors compete fiercely for perfection. Dealers scour coin shows, auctions, and private collections for any hint of the 1977 D anomaly. And when one appears, the market explodes. Bids climb higher, offers multiply, and what was once an unnoticed penny becomes the centerpiece of headlines and dreams. That's exactly what this coin represents. A rare window where ordinary Americans, sifting through coins in their change jars, could uncover a treasure no one else expected. The story of the 1977 D. Lincoln cent is also a story of human fascination with the extraordinary. People have always been drawn to what's hidden, what's secret, what's just out of reach. From gold rushes to lottery tickets, from rare stamps to sports cards, we're captivated by the idea that a small object can hold enormous value. And the 1977 D penny? It's the ultimate symbol of that allure. The plainest object, potentially the most valuable, quietly waiting for someone to recognize its worth. You're sorting through a stack of pennies, idly flipping them, checking the dates. And then something catches your eye. A subtle doubling on the mint mark. A faint echo in the lettering. Your pulse races. This is exactly what has happened to a select few collectors. People who stumbled across these pennies in change, in drawers, in old collections, suddenly found themselves holding a piece of history, a tangible link to an era, and a life-changing fortune in their palm. One lucky individual reportedly sold a flawless specimen for over $2 million, transforming from a casual collector to a headline-making millionaire in a single auction. The market isn't slowing down. Demand for rare coins like the 1977 D. Lincoln cent is surging. Global collectors, investors, and even museums are constantly seeking these errors. The scarcity fuels the obsession, and the obsession drives the price higher. The more elusive the coin, the more valuable it becomes. And with millions of 1977 D pennies minted, but only a minuscule fraction carrying the error, the potential for discovery remains tantalizingly real that it's easy to get lost in the numbers and the stories. But here's the underlying truth. This coin is a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that extraordinary wealth can sometimes be hidden in plain sight, that the mundane can suddenly become magnificent, and that your next encounter with a penny, a coin you might otherwise dismiss, could change everything. Experts say the key lies in careful inspection. The doubling on the mint mark is subtle, often visible only under magnification. Die cracks or unusual striking patterns can provide clues. Condition is paramount. Top-grade coins, those flawless specimens that appear almost untouched, command astronomical prices. Every small detail matters. Every imperfection or anomaly can mean the difference between a few dollars and millions. But beyond the technicalities, there's a mindset here. You have to see the extraordinary potential in the ordinary. You have to hold your coins, examine them, and imagine what might be hiding there. Because fortune favors the observant, the curious, and the patient. The 1977 D. Lincoln cent is proof that life-changing surprises often come disguised as everyday objects. And let's be honest, the drama, the suspense, the possibility of sudden wealth is intoxicating. It's what keeps collectors awake at night, scouring auctions, attending shows, flipping through old coin boxes, hoping to catch a glimpse of that elusive doubling or error. It's the thrill of the hunt combined with the promise of unimaginable reward. And when one of these coins finally surfaces in pristine condition, the excitement is electric, almost unreal. While millions of pennies exist, only a handful are true anomalies. That makes the 1977 D. Lincoln cent rarer than most rare collectibles. Its value doesn't just reflect scarcity. It reflects history, craftsmanship, and human desire. Every sale, every auction, every whisper in the collector community adds to the mystique and demand. And with reported sales reaching $2.2 million, the stakes have never been higher. Now, take a deep breath. Imagine holding that coin. Imagine the possibilities, the doors it could open. This isn't just about money. It's about discovery, excitement, and the thrill of unearthing something previously hidden from the world. It's about participating in a centuries-old human story, the search for hidden treasure, the desire to uncover what others overlook, the transformation from ordinary to extraordinary in a single moment. The 1977 D. Lincoln cent challenges us to rethink our assumptions. It tells us that life-changing wealth might be closer than we think, hidden in the things we pass by every day. That ordinary objects, under the right circumstances, can become priceless. And that patience, attention to detail, and a bit of daring curiosity can unlock doors that most people never even knew existed. See possibilities. See secrets waiting to be revealed. Because somewhere out there, a 1977 D. Lincoln cent is waiting, hidden in plain sight, capable of transforming a life overnight. It might be in your drawer. It might be in your jar. It might even be in the coins you carry to the store tomorrow. And if you're lucky, observant, and ready, that ordinary penny could become your extraordinary moment. Millions of Americans have searched, but only a select few have struck gold. The 1977 D. Lincoln cent isn't just a coin. It's a story, a mystery, and a promise. A promise that the next time you see an ordinary penny, you might just be holding something priceless. The clock is ticking. The coins keep moving. And the next treasure could be waiting in your hands right now. All you have to do is look carefully enough to see it. I'm talking about the 1981 Lincoln cent. At first glance, it's just another penny, just 1 cent. But look closer. Look carefully. Because for those who know what to see, this coin isn't just a coin. It's a ticket to unimaginable wealth. A single coin, in pristine condition, has been reported to sell for as much as $2.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $2.4 million for a single penny. The mint mark? Or, more precisely, the absence of one. In 1981, most Lincoln cents were struck at the Denver Mint, proudly displaying a tiny D beneath the date. But an extremely rare batch of coins somehow escaped that designation. These coins, now known as 1981 no mint mark cents, were minted without the D that should have been there. How does a mint, one of the most heavily regulated and technologically advanced in the world, accidentally produced coins with no mint mark. Yet, the error exists, and collectors have been hunting it for decades like prospectors searching for gold. Because errors like these are not just mistakes, they are anomalies that turn a simple penny into a piece of history and a potential fortune. Not all 1981 no mint mark cents are created equal. The difference between a coin that's merely rare and a coin worth millions comes down to condition, strike, and preservation. These coins were struck over 40 years ago, and in circulation, pennies accumulate scratches, dings, and the inevitable wear of time. A circulated 1981 no mint mark might sell for a few $1,000s. But a perfect, flawless specimen, untouched by human hands, can fetch staggering sums, sometimes more than $2 million at auction. A coin smaller than your thumbnail, sitting quietly on a collector's shelf, carrying the power to change someone's life forever. 2,200,000. $2.4 million. It's almost unimaginable. And yet, the record shows it is real. There have been multiple documented sales, each one confirming that this is not a rumor or an internet exaggeration. This is a coin that commands respect, awe, and, most importantly, real money. Beyond the absence of the mint mark, collectors are drawn to the story it tells. Every coin carries a narrative, the hands it passed through, the minting error that made it unique, the decades it survived hidden in pockets, drawers, and coin jars. And with this particular penny, the story is explosive. It's a mistake that should never have existed. A coin that defies the ordinary. A coin that whispers, almost audibly, "I am rare. I am valuable. I am your chance." The number of surviving specimens in top condition is astonishingly small. Experts estimate that only a handful exist, each one fiercely guarded by collectors or investors who know that once a coin like this hits the market, it can disappear in the blink of an eye. This scarcity creates a perfect storm. A coin that is rare, beautiful, and historically significant, and everyone wants it. It's a recipe for astronomical value. Now, let's talk about the market itself. When a 1981 no mint mark cent appears at auction, it doesn't just sell, it makes headlines. Collectors are willing to pay millions because they know that owning one of these pennies is not just about the coin itself. It's about status, legacy, and the thrill of holding something almost magical in their hands. These coins are not investments, they are treasures. And in a world where the extraordinary is rare, a 1981 no mint mark cent is one of the most extraordinary finds you could ever hope for. And yet, despite the hype, there's a chilling element of unpredictability. Not every no mint mark coin commands millions. The market is discerning. Condition matters. Strike matters. And authenticity is everything. This is not a world for the casual collector. It's a world where vigilance, knowledge, and timing can transform an ordinary coin into a historic windfall, which brings us to you. Could the next 1981 no mint mark cent be hiding in your collection, or even in your pocket change? It might look like any other penny, but the truth is, the extraordinary often hides behind the mundane. 1 second, it's just another coin. The next, it could be the key to your financial freedom. You're at a garage sale, flipping through a jar of old coins. Or maybe you're counting change from a weekend errand. Your eyes catch something slightly different, slightly off. A date without a mint mark. Your heart races. The very thought sends a shiver down your spine. The 1981 no mint mark cent is not just a coin. It's a story of luck, timing, and discovery. It's a symbol of the thrill that lies in uncovering what others overlook. And it's proof that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone brave, curious, and determined enough to find them. When you reach into your pocket, when you sift through coins in your drawers or your jars, will you see the ordinary penny, or will you see the extraordinary? These coins do exist. They have sold for millions. They have turned casual collectors into millionaires overnight. And every day that passes, there are pennies being overlooked, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. In your hand, between your fingers, there could be history, wealth, and the thrill of discovery all at once. The 1981 no mint mark Lincoln cent is more than a coin. It's a challenge, an opportunity, a whisper from the past telling you, pay attention. Look closely. Fortune favors the one who notices. And so, as you finish watching this, as your mind races with images of pennies and possibilities, one question lingers, echoing louder than any auction gavel. But what if I told you, among the ordinary pennies you pass by every day, there lies a coin so rare, so elusive, that collectors have been known to pay as much as $2.5 million for a single, perfect specimen? I'm talking about the 1991 D Lincoln cent, a coin that looks unremarkable to the untrained eye, yet whispers promises of unimaginable fortune to those who know where to look. Most people see just a penny, a symbol of small change. But for a select few, this coin is a gateway to a life-changing discovery. Let me take you on a journey into the world of rare coin collecting, where subtle errors, tiny mint marks, and the slightest imperfections can transform a humble penny into a prize that commands millions. This isn't speculation. This is history. This is the 1991 D Lincoln cent, a coin with a story so incredible it almost defies belief. The first thing you need to know is that this penny comes from the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D stamped beneath Lincoln's shoulder. But what makes the 1991 D extraordinary is not just its year or its origin. It's the hidden errors, the anomalies that slipped past the Mint's inspectors and into circulation. Errors like doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and misalignments. Tiny, almost imperceptible shifts in the design that can make a coin exponentially more valuable. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, so ordinary it could be mistaken for any other penny, yet carrying a secret flaw worth tens of thousands, even millions. These errors are what coin collectors call key varieties, and they're the holy grail of the Lincoln cent series. A small double die on the obverse, a slight off-center strike, or a mint mark that's been accidentally repunched. Any one of these could catapult a coin into legendary status. Not every 1991 D Lincoln cent is valuable. The difference between a regular penny and a fortune-making coin lies in its condition. Grading companies assess a coin's preservation on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing absolute perfection, no scratches, no discoloration, no wear. Coins that achieve that top tier, especially with a notable error, have sold at auction for jaw-dropping sums. Reports suggest that some have reached staggering figures as high as $2.5 million. Yes, $2.5 million for a coin smaller than your thumb. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. Millions of dollars for a coin that most people would discard without a second thought. Does that make your head spin? Because it should. The 1991 D Lincoln cent is a reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight. But let's dive deeper. What exactly do collectors look for when hunting this elusive treasure? First, it's the mint mark itself. The D on the 1991 penny is typically clean and unassuming. But in rare cases, the D has been repunched, leaving a faint shadow, a subtle echo of the original strike. That tiny difference, barely visible to the naked eye, can multiply the coin's value hundreds, even thousands of times. Then there are double die errors. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear slightly doubled. Look closely at Lincoln's profile, the date, or the lettering on the rim. If you see a faint doubling, your penny could be one of the rare survivors of a minting mishap, one of the coins that numismatists drool over. And here's where suspense meets urgency. These coins are exceedingly rare. The number of 1991 D pennies with such errors is tiny compared to the millions minted that year. That means the odds are long, but the payoff astronomical. One coin, in perfect condition, with a verified error, has the power to transform lives. You could be holding the coin that someone else dreams of finding for a lifetime. Collectors report that auctions for these coins often become heated, almost frenzied. The slightest hint of a grading report showing an error can send bidders spiraling into a battle for possession. Because once a 1991 D penny with an error reaches the top tiers of grading, its market value explodes. Coins that might have been worth a few dollars yesterday can be worth hundreds of thousands today, or even millions tomorrow. While you're watching this video, someone across the country might be sorting through their loose change and unknowingly stumble upon a treasure that could reshape their life. The story doesn't end with rarity alone. Condition, provenance, and authentication are equally critical. For a coin to fetch the kind of money we're talking about, it must be verified by professional grading services. These experts inspect every nuance of the coin, the sharpness of the strike, the brightness of the copper, the presence or absence of wear and toning. Only a handful of coins achieve the coveted mint state grades, and those are the ones that command headlines and historic sales figures. A single 1991 D Lincoln cent, in the right condition, has been known to sell for prices comparable to a luxury home or even a small business. We're not talking about incremental gains. These are life-altering sums. To illustrate, one top-condition example reportedly sold at auction for $2.5 million. That's not a typo. A single penny, from a year most Americans remember for the Gulf War and grunge music, became a symbol of sudden wealth. And that's where the story becomes both thrilling and personal. While the odds are low, they are not zero. Every collector, every enthusiast, started somewhere, usually with a single ordinary coin that revealed its hidden secret. The magic is in the possibility, in the tantalizing what if that keeps millions of people scanning their change, visiting coin shows, and combing through old collections. Ordinary pennies sit forgotten in jars, drawers, and cash registers across the country. Among them, the 1991 D Lincoln cent waits silently, patiently, as if it knows its destiny. And when it reveals itself, well, life is never the same again. For the lucky few who recognize its significance, the rewards are extraordinary. The errors themselves. Each one tells a story of human oversight, of mechanical imperfection, of a moment when the mass production of currency intersected with chance. A misaligned die here, a doubled imprint there. These tiny flaws, invisible to the casual eye, create coins that are both rare and irresistible. They are anomalies in a world designed for uniformity, and that's precisely why collectors covet them. Every auction, every sale, reinforces the legend of the 1991 D Lincoln cent coins with verified errors are documented, photographed, and sometimes even displayed in museums or private collections. They carry stories of discovery, of meticulous research, and of the sudden, staggering shifts in fortune that can accompany the right find at the right moment. Now, imagine yourself holding one. Can you feel the weight, not of the copper, but of potential? Can you sense the excitement that countless collectors feel when they glimpse a coin that might be more valuable than the car in their driveway, the house they live in, even their retirement savings? That thrill, that moment of revelation, is why people chase these coins for a lifetime. And here's the final twist, the thing that makes the 1991 D Lincoln cent more than just a coin. It's a story of possibility, a fortune lying hidden in everyday life. It's proof that extraordinary value can exist in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone who knows what to look for, someone bold enough to investigate, to examine, to hold a small piece of copper and dream big. The 1991 D Lincoln cent is more than a coin. It's a reminder that life-changing discoveries are sometimes hiding in plain sight, and that the ordinary can become extraordinary in an instant. Don't let curiosity wait. Don't let opportunity slip by unnoticed. Examine your coins, study the details, learn to recognize the subtle errors. Because one day, maybe sooner than you think, you could be the person who holds a 1991 D Lincoln cent, the coin that turns a dream of wealth into a tangible reality. The coin that turns a simple penny into a legend. The coin that could make millions. Meet the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks ordinary. A tiny copper disc, worn from circulation, with Abe Lincoln staring back at you. But appearances can be deceiving. The story of the 1990 no mint mark penny isn't just about money. It's about discovery, risk, and the thrill of stumbling upon a secret the world doesn't want you to know. Because hidden in its design are subtle, almost invisible errors that can turn a humble 1-cent coin into a treasure worth millions. Let's start with the basics. In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents. Most carry the familiar D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a small handful, an astonishingly rare few, were struck with no mint mark at all. Why does this matter? Because the absence of a mint mark makes this coin a rare anomaly, an accidental misstep in the mint's otherwise meticulous operations. And collectors love anomalies. They chase them. They pay top dollar for them. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Among these no mint mark pennies, some exhibit unique errors, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and even subtle variations in Lincoln's profile that can go unnoticed by an untrained eye. These are not just imperfections. They are the very fingerprints of rarity that transform a coin from a mere cent into a coveted artifact. Imagine holding a coin where the words on the back seem slightly stretched, or Lincoln's cheek subtly thicker than it should be. Most people wouldn't notice it. One coin in particular, graded in top condition, has reportedly sold on the market for as much as $2.6 million. That's right, $2.6 million for a coin you might pass off as pocket change. Think about that for a moment. A single coin, barely larger than a fingernail, holding the power to change a life. It's not just money. It's freedom. It's opportunity. It's the dream of walking into a bank not to withdraw, but to deposit, knowing your luck has finally turned. Part of it is scarcity. The 1990 no-mint mark penny is already rare. But add in the hidden errors, the missed strikes, the subtle design quirks, and suddenly you have something that is practically one of a kind. Coin collectors don't just want a 1990 penny. They want the 1990 penny that defies the odds, the one that tells a story the mint never intended. And the stories don't stop at the errors. There are accounts, whispers in collector circles, of ordinary people discovering these pennies in change, jars, and drawers, unaware that their hands were holding a fortune. Some have stumbled upon them while cleaning out a desk, others while searching through decades of saved coins. The thrill, the disbelief, the sudden realization that a lifetime of searching and dreaming might just be over in a single moment. It's intoxicating. And it's real. Finding one of these coins is not easy. Millions of 1990 pennies were produced, but the vast majority are standard, everyday coins, worth only a cent. The true no-mint mark gems are elusive, often buried in ordinary circulation. And even when found, their value depends entirely on condition and the presence of those rare errors. A worn or damaged coin might be fascinating, but it won't command the sky-high prices of a pristine, top-grade specimen. Imagine the tension of sorting through thousands of coins. Each one could be nothing or everything. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack, except that needle could be worth more than your house. Every flip, every glint of copper under the light is a pulse of possibility. And the market proves it. Auction after auction, collectors compete fiercely for these pennies. In some cases, multiple buyers have gone head-to-head, each willing to bid more than $1 million for a single no-mint mark specimen in perfect condition. It's a reminder that rarity and desirability don't just create value, they create obsession. And obsession drives prices to levels most people can't even imagine. Not every collector is looking in the obvious places. Some of the highest value coins were discovered in jars of spare change, forgotten wallets, and even loose coins at the bottom of drawers. Ordinary people, living ordinary lives, have stumbled onto extraordinary wealth without even knowing it. And that's where the excitement lies. Because the next 1990 no-mint mark penny worth millions? It could be hiding in your own home right now. Think about it. That jar of pennies in your kitchen, that stack of change in your car, that drawer full of forgotten coins. One of them could be the rarest coin you've ever seen. And it's not science fiction, it's history proving it. The thrill of discovery, the allure of wealth, the chance to be part of a story that has captivated collectors for decades. It's all there, waiting for the curious, the diligent, the bold. Look for the absence of a mint mark, study Lincoln's profile, check for unusual die marks, doubling, or misalignment. Even the smallest deviations could signal something extraordinary. The difference between an ordinary penny and a multi-million-dollar treasure can be almost imperceptible. But in the world of coin collecting, the smallest detail can change everything. And let's not forget the human drama behind these discoveries. The jar tipped over, coins spilling across the table, and then, there it is, the unmistakable gleam of a no-mint mark 1990 penny in nearly perfect condition. A gasp, a racing heart, the knowledge that life as you know it might never be the same. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's an adventure, a hunt for hidden fortunes, a dance with destiny itself. Or would you hold it, watching the value rise, knowing you own something no one else in the world does? Either way, the possibilities are staggering. Because these coins are not just money. They're stories, history, and dreams minted into copper. And as we reach the climax of this story, consider this. The 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln cent represents more than just a rare coin. It represents hope, the thrill of discovery, and the tantalizing possibility that anyone, anywhere, could stumble onto a life-changing treasure. It's proof that extraordinary wealth isn't just for the few. It can emerge from the ordinary, the overlooked, the everyday. One coin, one moment, one incredible stroke of luck, and everything changes.